It looks like Tiffany Haddish has broke her silence regarding her recent DUI arrest earlier this year. According to TMZ, cops responded to a call because they heard a driver had fallen asleep at the wheel. Interestingly enough, in the state of Georgia, you can be charged for a DUI even if you are sleeping behind the wheel. Georgia law states that a person is guilty of DUI if he or she drives or is in reasonable control of any moving vehicle. Officers stopped Tiffany and arrested her for a DUI and improper stopping on the roadway. In a conversation with Jimmy Fallon on his talk show, Haddish says she's got a great lawyer and they're going to work it out. Today we have our company hype analysts, Vanessa Fraction in studio, Pierre and Capone calling in to talk about Tiffany's case in Georgia's unique DUI laws. But first, let's take a look at this clip.
Can you talk about anything that happened or want to talk about it or no?
Well, I can say this, Jimmy.
Okay.
I've been praying to God to send me a new man, a good man. And God went ahead and sent me 4 in a uniform. I wasn't expecting it. Was not expecting that at all. And now I got a really great lawyer, and we're gonna work it out. And I got to get my asking of things to God a little better.
Yeah, we're gonna be a little clearer.
Now, this is the first time we've heard from Tiffany since, her arrest earlier this year. I want to start with you, Pierre. What's your reaction to, her being arrested and now we're hearing from her?
Well, one thing, thank God she's safe. It didn't turn out worse than what it was. So I'm not saying I was shocked or not shocked. We're adults. Sometimes we put ourselves in situations that aren't really, good for us. But again, thank God she was shocked. The vehicle wasn't moving and she didn't get hurt.
Right.
But I did learn a lesson about Georgia law. It's best to sit in the back seat. Get your behind in the back seat and lay down there. If you're going to sleep in the car, go in the back seat.
We're definitely going to talk about it. I want to ask you next, Vanessa. What are your reactions to this?
Oh, well, as Pierre said, the first one's concern. I've known the girl over 15 years. That's the homie. You know what I mean? So the first thought is, I hope she's okay. And just meaning that in that situation, I didn't think it was nothing nefarious. As Pierre said, we work late nights, less it been me, any of us, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I definitely have had a DUI in my time as a comedian. So my first thought was concern. Once I knew she was good, her taking the moment to gather herself before responding, I thought was very good. And on Fallon, she just kept it cute and kept it funny. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you got to do when you go through stuff like that. And then shout out to them nails. She in that FloJo spirit. You saw them nails. She was popping them nails now.
Capone, I'll throw that same question to you. What's your reaction to, when the news broke and then now that we're hearing from Tiffany?
I was confused because was she intoxicated or was she just sleep? Because they never reported that, so I didn't know. But as Pierre and Vanessa said, I was just happy that she was okay. And there was nothing, really troublesome about it. But I know we're going to talk about the laws, but that's crazy if she fell asleep.
We can go ahead and dive right into that. So when the news first broke, you hear DUI, you automatically think driving under the influence, maybe like alcohol or some type of substance. But as I mentioned, in Georgia, DUI is actually if you fall asleep behind the wheel or if you're in reasonable control. Now, reasonable control is defined generally as having the power to move the vehicle. So if you're in the front seat, in the driver's seat with the keys in your hand, you're in reasonable control of the vehicle. So it was definitely surprising.
Under the influence of napping.
Right.
So, you know what I mean?
And I'll start with you, Vanessa. What do you think? Do you think that, how do you feel about that law in Georgia where it's considered a DUI if you're in that type of condition?
Well, I do consider it serious because anytime you're under the behind the wheel, that can cause harm to someone else, including death.
Yeah.
So I think it's serious enough that if you're not in control of a car, then yes, whether it's sleep, whether it's alcohol, drugs, whatever it is, weed now, you know what I mean, is also considered under the influence or, all that kind of thing. So if you're not of yourself and of capable, sound mind to control a vehicle where no one else can get hurt, then yes, you're going to get reprimanded for that, yeah.
Pierre, I'll ask the same question to you. Do you agree with the law, in Georgia where, if you do fall asleep behind the wheel, that it's considered a DUI?
I didn't know it was considered. I thought you had to be intoxicated and fall asleep behind the wheel. I read it maybe I misread it wrong, but I thought it was saying if you're drunk and driving, you get a DUI, driving under influence. And if you park your car and you're drunk, it's because you're drunk, how you try to sleep it off. you still get a DUI. But that's only because if they take a test after they wake you up and you still drunk, you got alcohol level.
Now
no. So you don't
You
have to
can't
have
sleep it off?
You don't have to. Well, I think he was saying you don't have to have alcohol in your system for it to be considered a DUI. If you're behind the wheel and you're falling asleep and you're in reasonable control of the vehicle, whether you have alcohol in your system or not, it's still considered a DUI. So you don't have to have anything in your system. If you're behind the wheel and you're falling asleep,
well,
DUI.
all right, maybe I read it wrong, because that's absolutely ridiculous. Because what happens? You pull over at a truck stop, and you lay down and you sleep. You're going to jail for that? I mean, I'm tired. I'm driving. I will pull over to a truck stop and relax. Why do I gotta get a ticket for that? Falling asleep in my car at the end of the day. People do that all the time on truck stops. So why? And she pulled over somewhere, on the street, and pulled over and went to sleep. So it doesn't. You have to be in a truck stop and for it not to be legal. It doesn't make sense. I thought I read it the other way, that if you're drunk and you pull over and try to get some sleep it off, then you get and they give you a test and find out. But if you're saying it's not, if it's just you fall asleep anytime in your car, pull over somewhere or whatever, truck stop, and you get a ticket, it's absolutely ridiculous. If that's the case, then get from behind the seat, driver's seat, and get in the passenger side or the back seat. If it's that petty,
Because part of what she had got stopped for, and of course we don't know all the particulars. They didn't let them all out. That's why she said she had a lawyer. They're going to sort it out. But part of that stop was parking, improper stop.
Yeah, improper stop in a roadway.
Right. So it isn't as if she was. As far as what I'm reading, it's not as if she had pulled over, said, you know what, let me get into the passenger side, or let me get in the back. Like you were actually operating the vehicle, or within moments of operating the vehicle. And so much so that people had called in to say that they saw someone falling asleep or driving erratically. So
now, Capone, I want to make sure I throw you in there as well. What are your thoughts about this, DUI, where you can be charged with DUI in the state of Georgia if you are behind the wheel falling asleep?
I think Georgia has a lot of stupid laws. I got pulled over and they told me my license was suspended, and they locked me up only to find out my license wasn't suspended. His computer wasn't working right. And so, I think those laws are really, really stupid that they put there. Now, I was speeding. I'm not going to lie about that. But that wasn't even the case. It was the case of he's saying my license was suspended and it wasn't. And I think that's a very stupid law.
Capone, that's not a stupid law. The problem was that they didn't have the computer right, because still, if you can't drive on suspended license, so that law isn't stupid, right?
No, but they don't lock you up everywhere. They tell you to get your license fixed.
Yeah, right.
Georgia locks you up.
Yeah. Like you can go to court and show that you have an updated license and things like that. So
they give you an opportunity.
Right. Yep.
I come to find out, he's talking about the computer thing. That same thing happened to me, and they said, you had to do a $35 reinstatement fee, and then they pushed the button. You're like, what?
Yeah.
But you sent me to jail. You literally sent me to jail, which it could have been sorted out in a different way. So.
Well, you know me, I'm half white. I don't get pulled over, so I don't know.
That part.
You know how that goes.
Well, as I mentioned,
get pulled over.
Pierre, you know what
It could have been the car I was driving too.
Okay.
And
I think, as Vanessa mentioned, as we continue to see this unfold, we'll get more details there. Of course, she wasn't able to go into the full details because she does have a lawyer involved. And I'm just happy she's okay.
Yes.
That's definitely the good thing. But I appreciate you guys for chiming in. Now, before we head out, it's been a minute since I've asked you all what you have coming up and things like that. So, Vanessa, since you're in studio with me, guys, I'm going to ask you first, what do you have coming up this week?
Oh, man, it's a new year, all kinds of stuff. You said this week?
Or just coming up.
Oh, I'm like, this week, I'm done. I'm finna go on a cabin trip, child. But I think February 6th, I'll be right here at Comedy Hype Studios. We're having comedy, we're having jazz, we're having fun. It's from 6 to 8 p.m. So if you're in the Atlanta, Georgia area, come and check us out here at Comedy Hype Studios for a really great night called I Elect. I'm also on the Nappy Boy Radio podcast. I'm one of the co-hosts. It's hosted by T-Pain. It's just a dope, man. It's a dope podcast, and we're always talking to really awesome artists and stuff like that. So make sure you tune in on that, and then just follow me online at Vanessa Fraction for more.
Yeah, it is a good show. I watched you sing the other day, so I was like, you were citing out the lyrics. I was like, that's definitely Vanessa. Pierre, I'll ask you, what do you have coming up? We know we got to save Capone for last, because Capone will give us a whole resume of new businesses. So Pierre, what do you have coming up?
Again, this week on my podcast, Piers Panic Room on YouTube. Look at Comic Pierre. I got the great, iconic Ricky Smiley. He really opens up about a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff he talks about. So this week, on my podcast, February 12th, I think I'm in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, and the 18th, 19th, I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. So, come out, show me the love.
Awesome. Definitely can't wait to be at your next Piers Panic Room. Now, Capone, I know you got a list for us. What do you have coming up? But what new businesses can we look out for from you?
Piers, let me pull out my notebook.
I just I'm opening up a new store, crystal stores. I actually trying to open up 3. Y'all know I'm into the crystals and the healings. Really excited about that. Also, my tour started, Team Capone Tour, where I bring some young guys with me. That's been really great. I just left Orlando.
Nice.
I'm going to Baltimore this weekend by popular demand. I just left Baltimore, and 6 shows were sold out, and they added 4 more shows. This is crazy because they added it a month later, and so that's a good feeling. Got a new tour bus that I just purchased, and they are actually doing it up now, and I'm really excited about that.
That's dope. Congratulations. Well,
Symphony, what do you have going on, honey?
Well, I just came back from LA. I hosted a Black Girl art show for the first time. It was absolutely amazing. And then I'm going to be in Atlanta, actually playing the Comedy Hype card game with my friends. I do have some friends that are coming into town. So as you guys know, we did release a card game.
Yep.
And so I told my friends, hey, I get a weekend off. Let's come together. Let's play some games. Let's, sip some water, because that's all I do.
Sip some water, have some laughs.
Exactly, have some laughs and really get immersed in comedy culture to really learn about what it is that y'all do and the way that y'all think. So as always, I appreciate you guys for chiming in. You heard from us. Now we want to hear from you in the comments below. What are your thoughts on Tiffany Haddish breaking her silence since her DUI arrest? For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson.
Own it. Own your truth. Put it in the comments. Own it, baby. What's up? It's Vanessa Fraction, analyst at Comedy Hype News, and also the host of I Elect this month here at Comedy Hype Studio. It's a dope show featuring comedy and music, and it's all at Comedy Hype Studios Atlanta, February 6th from 6 to 8 p.m. Tickets are at the door, so make sure you come early because seats are limited. Come through.